Hey fam, what's up, what's up, what's up? This is Robert Antine here, robertantine.com, coming to you with your no frills, the voice commentary from a singer! Hey! And tonight in the top 10, they hit the stage trying to advance to the semifinals. 2 artists will be going home tomorrow night, which will bring us down to 8. Then we're going to go to 4 after that, and then we'll be in the finale, so we just got a few more weeks to share this time together. Okay, all the artists brought their moms to rehearsal to meet their coaches tonight, and they will be singing a dedication to their moms. TeamAdam started out with Larson doing Jungle Love by the time to his mom. In rehearsal, Adam told him that he wanted him to look like one of the Blues Brothers and mapped out this whole little skit for him. So this had a great groove and Jesse started rocking the house with a little step touch. And I was like, go ahead on, boy. This fit right in the middle of his range really well, but was just lacking a little energy for me. I mean, they were up, but they weren't really bringing it. Adam had more energy, like sitting in his chair dancing along, but I don't know. I like the hanky bit he pulled out and wiped his brow and all that. And when he started doing a little scatting, then the girls brought him his guitar and he killed it for a few seconds. I was like, oh, y'all, he's doing this thing. The background singers were trying to do like the Bird or something, and they didn't seem like they had any rhythm at all. This was kind of fun, but I just wanted more energy and I wanted more levels, more vocal from him. I think I could pick the song that had more range, more vocal range in it. Blake called it really good and said every idea they had in rehearsal happened on stage. Aliyah said it was incredible to see him come out and show all sides of him. Next we had TeamBlake with Aliyah Moulden doing Jealous by Labrinth, and Blake advised her, don't be afraid to be frustrated and mad so that we can feel what she's feeling. So on stage, she was having to throw away those low notes because they weren't really in her range, but that was a good idea just to throw them away. Don't try to hit them and you don't have them. But the rest of the song set really well in her voice. The emotion was clear on this and you could just see about like what she was doing, and it was starting to bring me to tears and I was trying to hold it back. The vibrato on all the held notes was a little irritating for me at times. I like to have had her maybe have a little vibrato and then do a straight tone, and then when she had to hold those notes, you know, just to vary it a little. Maybe even do 2 and not worry about it, and then do 1 where she kind of held it kind of straight. It would have just, I don't know, gave it just a little more professionalism. The modulation into the bridge was a nice touch. Is that in their song originally? I don't know. And she was getting visibly emotional and then could barely finish the song. She started crying, which was actually a really nice touch because I started crying. I was like, her crying gave me like the need just to let go. I was just like, okay, it made it all right for me just to let go. It really touched me and had me in tears. I was just like, oh my God, poor baby. Gwen called it beautiful and unexpected and complimented the tone of her voice. Next we had TeamAlicia with Vanessa Ferguson. She did Do Wop That Thing That by Lauryn Hill. Oh! And Aliyah worked on making the end bigger in rehearsal and mentioned that it was a lot of words in the song. Okay, catch it. She came in a little strong on the attack. I don't know, so got her pitch a little wavering, but I was more surprised by her new look. I loved her hyping the crowd, and she really had on her hip-hop mood swag for this. I was worried that she wasn't going to be able to keep her breath up. At times, she's just a little bit labored, but that's a lot. It was a lot of words to get out, and she was getting them. She had a few little blips, but she was killing the rap and the hook. All bases were covered. Gwen was singing along the whole time. Adam stood for her, calling the rap incredible and gave her cool points. And if you give me cool points, please make sure to thumb it up and let me know that you are watching. I'm so glad to have you guys watching. So glad to share my thoughts with you, and I hope that you'll share your thoughts with me down in the comments. Thank you so much for commenting, and thank you for your thumbs. Next we had TeamAdam with Mark Isaiah doing Sign of the Times by Harry Styles, and he played the piano in rehearsal, and Adam told him to sing out more and even more breathy. He also told him to work harder on his technique than he ever has. Did y'all see the video for this song? Is brand new, out just like today. Was it early this morning? I got to see it. It's crazy. You got to go watch it. You just got to go watch it. Come back and tell me what you thought about it. Mark did start at the piano to start this out bathed in white. I always liked the sound of his voice, but wasn't liking his attempt at falsetto on the first time around, and then it came around again and I didn't like it, and then it came around again and I still didn't like it. He should have done something different with that part. You know, if you can't hit that falsetto, maybe he could have done something different with the melody. He sounded very confident in the other parts of the song, and his nasality was so subtle. Then he killed the big notes for like a really inspired ending. It was like, big note, big note, big note, da-da-da, big note. I was like, go ahead, oh, he's singing this. He was singing his face off at that point, and his whole body was just vibrating with it. That was good to see. Gwen said she was going to download that one and thought it was a whole different side to him. Then Blake Shelton performed. Every time I hear that song, and what can I say about Blake? I wrote he's likable, just not my cuppa. Oh, he was sweating bullets up there on the stage. What was going on? I mean, the lights were hot, or was it raining on stage? I don't know what was going on. Tell me what you thought was going on stage. He was so sweaty. Then we had TeamAlicia's Chris Blue doing 24 Karat Magic by Bruno Mars, and he didn't get any notes in rehearsal naturally, just praise. And he started out at the top of the steps with some T-Pain treatment on the vocals. Y'all know he had me laughing when he started hitting the bones. You know, he does a little thing. He's so funny. And all the females around him with the suits were going down the steps. This is totally a personality song. He did get in some extra like singing parts for good measure, but this was really fun. The energy was off the chain. All except Adam stood for him. I wonder why. Blake said someone has to be deaf and blind to not see how incredibly talented he is. TeamAdam next had Lilli Passero do Unforgettable by Nat King Cole, and Adam told her to rely on her phrasing to keep people's attention. He also told her that singing jazz is more mathematical than singing pop songs, and sung the choruses with her to keep her timing. So I love this song so much, and the stage production has a really nice look and feel to it. Really loved all the strings and the red piano. Lilli literally shimmered in that dress, and her voice sounded good as always. I like the sultry way she formed and let go of the words, but I felt it was just a little forced after the musical interlude, and there were some little places where it just wasn't as good as other places. I like the melodic choices that she made and the endless ending I wrote. She just, okay, you know, if you saw it, you know what I'm talking about. Aliyah told her that she loves how she interprets songs and said she took some liberties that showcased her strengths. TeamBlake was up next with Lauryn Dusky. She did Tell Me Why by Wynonna Judd, and Blake arranged the song in rehearsal and sang along with Lauryn a little bit. Wynonna also called her to wish her good luck. Lauryn played guitar for this and looked very comfortable with a little edge in her vocal. I love her tone and that tiny flutter at the back of her phrases. The guitar solo in there seemed a little long for her voice to be out of the mix, but this made for a good full performance, though I was expecting something spectacular when the band dropped out. That didn't happen, and this was solid and enjoyable, but I was waiting for more oomph and more passion and more, I don't know, just something. It was like I think I wrote on Twitter that like I could see this at like a country fair. It'd be like, oh, this is a nice performance, but then for a singing competition, I don't know. What did you guys think? Did you think it was good enough to go through, or do you think it was just kind of meh? I said it was like laissez-faire, you know, to me. Just the attitude of the whole piece. Then we had TeamGwen's Hunter Plake doing Higher Love by Winwood, and in rehearsal, Gwen told him that she thought his arrangement was super cool, but wanted him to go more to the original melody. So are y'all noticing like a theme with the lighting in Hunter's performances? I enjoy the light show, and his voice fits into that trippy feel really well. I was catching most of the lyrics on this performance and very much enjoying his sound. He goes seamlessly between his chest voice and his falsetto, but was very clear and distinct with each one. I really enjoyed that. This is another loungy track that I definitely play at home or at a small party. Really enjoyed like the whole production of it, just the way it was put together. Adam said it didn't feel forced, and he gently turned it into something that makes sense now, calling him amazing. TeamBlake was up next with TSoul doing At This Moment by Vera and the Beaters, and Blake told him to decorate the song up because it stays on one plane the whole time. I love the piano solo at the beginning of this, and then TSoul's voice came in before we saw him looking like a bottle of milk with chocolate sprinkles and swirls. He kind of looked like Jamie Foxx and did like the Michelle Samuel thing, looking in the mirror at himself. The great thing is that this fit his voice really, really well, and he was making the most of his soul leanings. The horns going up the steps was a really nice touch, and this almost gave me chills, and that gospel ending could have gone further for me. I was just like waiting for him just to wail away, but it was really beautiful. I really enjoyed this. For me, this is his best vocal performance on the show so far. Aliyah said he's so genuine and his voice has its own stamp and sound, and he gives it 300% every time he comes on stage. And in the pimp spot, we had TeamGwen with Brennley Brown doing Anyway by Martina McBride, and Gwen told her to let the title line to be more about herself in rehearsal, saying don't make it about anybody else, but make it very, very personal. Brennley came in just a little light on vocally on this, but very tender. I felt like she had a lot of emotion behind her words, and that drummer was killing it as we saw him in the screen, and he was doing his thing. And before we launched into the chorus, I think the mic may have been turned down really low because of the louder parts of the song, because the beginning of those verses were almost unhearable, and she was definitely wailing away on the big notes and didn't even pull the mic away like to censor herself, which is a good thing. She didn't need to pull it away. Let the sound tech do that. I liked her singing directly to the audience member at one point. Then she jumped back up to pull out all these long, big, powerful notes, one after the other, and she looked so triumphant as she like finished those and was just about to do the last line. She gave it a look like, I know I killed this, and then she launched into the last line. It's just a wonderful, well-rounded performance. Blake said she made a believer of him and called her an inspiration for a lot of young people out there, telling her that her voice has never shined brighter than it did tonight. And that's it for the commentary. I am through. I know it was long, y'all, but I hope you stuck around. Make sure to let me know if you stuck around down in the comments. Tomorrow night, 2 are going home. What 3 are going to be in the bottom from tonight's performances? Tell me what you think the 3 are going to be in the bottom, and who do you want to go home? All right, thanks so much for watching. I thank you for your comments. I thank you for your thumbs. I am out. This is Robert Anton.